is a new acquisition from Revoltech Japan, the new Tamashii Stage. This is the Type 3 clear version, and they're pretty neat actually. Really good for your 6-inch figures if you've got some that just refuse to stand up. And I'll show you what you get. Comes in a standard sort of plastic tray. Some instructions, not that you really need them. It's quite neat, quite tightly packed. Now you get 3 stands for, I paid about the same price as a deluxe transformer, so I reckon they're pretty good value. So you get 3 stands. For each stand you can put a maximum of 3 posts in there, so you could have 3 action figures per stand, but that would probably look a bit cluttered. Now the 2 funny little knobs here, you can see you can just pop out the little plug and that allows you access to the hole. It's quite a nice feature. Just pops back in there. So you get 3 of those. Get 3 medium-sized posts, 3 short-sized posts, 3 long posts they come with the joints on them. Now one thing to bear in mind is that they only come with 3 joints with the fatter end, which you need to plug in the base, which could be a bit limiting, which if you wanted to have, say, use 2 posts on the one stand, which means that you would have a stand that you can't do anything with because you haven't got enough posts. So these are all removable and interchangeable, which is really nice. You get 3 extra ones there, which I'm just going to take out. You get a variety, you get a whole bunch of these non-curved grasping claws, which I'm not sure whether they're actually much better than the curved grasping claws that come on the tree here. Now I do recommend you get a pair of wire cutters to get these off, because you probably have a hard time getting off with a craft knife or a scalpel or whatever. Like that, you got these connectors here, which are designed just to clip right on the edge of a post there. They don't really have any articulation, they just pop straight off. You attach the, I'll show you, start earlier. The claws just very, very nicely attached to the end. So you've got a nice articulated claw to put on the waist of your action figure. This is the other type here that has a round hole for putting in the end of the smaller hold joint. Actually, the nice thing about these joints is they've actually got a metal nut and bolt in them, so it's not metal on plastic, which is going to wear out really quickly. So you can actually tighten these up, I imagine, if you want to hold a really heavy action figure, which I'll show you some examples at the end. So that's about it, really. So the quality of the plastic is just fantastic. I mean, I know some of you worry about clear plastic breaking easily, but man, this stuff's good stuff. Very, very high quality. Now, the only other thing to consider is that depending on how you display your toys, the clear might not be so appropriate. As you can see on this black background, it actually shows up quite noticeably. So if you've got all your toys displayed on a black background, I would go for the black Tamashii Stage and not the clear. But if you're on a white background, it just disappears. You won't even see it, which is really good. So depending on how you display your toys, you might be better off going for the black version, which is exactly the same except black. Okay, so here we have a stage made up, and let's use, I don't know, an example. We can use a Revoltech 4-line as an example. Now the Revoltech floor lines, I hate the stages that normally come with them. They're absolutely terrible how they're suspended in midair. So this is a much better option, and as you can see, it goes around a slender waist like that fine. And this is just the post connector. So you know, you can supports it quite nicely. Get all sorts of poses. You know, maybe not get into something special. Now if you wanted to get really sort of dynamic pose, bring in some of the other parts, and we'll take that off. Swap out the floors here, and we'll put them on a different joint. And we'll get a leave. Another one. Now you've got a really sort of mega long arm thing here, and you can have it doing some sort of, I don't know, flying kick. Oops. So, depending on how you've organised it, you may need to tighten these up to provide a bit more torque for a heavier figure. But yeah, I haven't really arranged that very well, as you can see, but you get the idea. So yeah, I mean, you can even push it even further, I guess, and put an even heavier thing like a transformer on it. Let's get rid of that. I mean, you can see it is limited to a certain extent by the waist. I mean, we could try doing something funky, and so yeah, nah, it is limited by the how wide the waist is on your figure, so it's probably more suited to your humanoid ones. And if you look at something like Iron Man here, it's a bit around Iron Man's waist, give him some support. You could do some sort of flying kick, might support them quite nicely. So overall, Tamashii Stages, highly recommend them. They're much better than the ones that are included with Revoltech, for example. I don't know, it's depending on how you like to display your figures. You may want to get the black or the clear one, or whether indeed your figures fall over easily. Like this guy here is, you know, she never stands up, and the one standing on is useless. Whereas Transformers, they stand up pretty good most of the time, so you may not even need a stage for them. But yeah, Tamashii Stages, excellent, well worth the money.